Welcome to New World, Amazon Games' first MMORPG, which is also my first ever MMORPG, in which you wait for up an hour to log into your server to finally be able to play the game. But once that is done, you're finally able to dive into the beautiful world of New World. Anyway, now that you're in the game, you can finally waste half of your time mining minerals, chopping trees, and do other things just to get up your skills, to unlock new resources, to then not be able to utilize them because your guild hasn't leveled up the right tool station. But besides that, there are also a lot of positive things that definitely overweigh the negative things. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video, in a more ironic view on the game. Seriously, if this game was so bad, I wouldn't have invested over 70 hours at this point into this game, so yeah. I'm going to be starting off with world design and questing / PvE, because you've got to bring the toxicity out of your system before you start and can appreciate the beauty of a game. I'm playing a League, I know that. It's not the world design that's bad, it's the world map, the size of the map, which in itself is not bad, but if you have to walk everywhere without mounts, it can take a while. Like, a quarter of the time I spent of these 70 to 80 hours, I spent walking around doing nothing. While there is auto walk, you will always need to have one hand at your keyboard. I do not care what you do with the other hand, since you will be ending up walking against a tree in less than 5 seconds. And yes, there is fast travel, but that is also pretty limited. But with walking around for such a long time, from quest to quest, you will get to see one of the most amazing things about this game, its world. Cause you will never be bored in this world and always find a new awesome spot or something else to do along the way, which is one of the main themes of this game. Talking about quests, the questing system is pretty repetitive, to say the best. Go there, kill enemies, get their loot, kill that boss, or collect that from chests at this place. There are a few more interesting quests. For example, in one mission you must put down easel for a painter in different scenic places. And that is the most memorable one that I have in the back of my mind. Plus, I can't even tell you anything about the story, because I didn't really pay attention. Cause it's just skip, give me your quest please. And this combined with no interesting characters makes the story just not worth following. There are also 2 different types of missions that you can do, not that they're any more entertaining, that give a different kind of reward than the normal loot you get from missions. These are city project missions and faction missions. What are these? Well, they conclude to the most fun part about this game: factions and city control. After the first few quests, you have to pick one of 3 factions. We have some weird religious dudes that nearly no one on my server picked. Then we have the brainless warriors, which we are permanently at war with. And with we, I mean the GigaChat insanely powerful Syndicate, a group of scientists dressed in stylish purple. And if you are now offended by that, please note that I don't care. Also note that I won't go into full detail about everything, since the people who watch this probably already know how the game works. In factions, there are guilds. Guilds can buy and claim regions. other factions can gain influence in these cities and then declare war on these regions and the faction controlling them. Oh yeah, and before I forget it, city and faction missions. City missions, once completed, give you progress in upgrading your city and fort. And faction missions give you faction points for special items and give or lower control of the city depending if your faction owns the city. But these missions are even more repetitive than the main quest line. For example, I once ran around in a circle for over 10 times just to get my reputation in the area up so I can buy a house, which is something I'll talk about later. Okay, PvP. Imagine this. You're attacking a fort. It's 50 versus 50, just brutal fist fights. You have to take 3 outer points. Once you've done that, you now have to take down the walls of the fort and make your way into it. Once this is done, and you have only a short amount of time left of 30 minutes in total, you have to take one last objective, which is the middle of the fort. You have enemies firing from you from anywhere. It's just 30 people in a circle just punching each other over and over again, but you manage to take the victory. This is PvP how I like it. The fun of this? Didn't you listen? It's a full-on 50 versus 50 full fist fight. What do you want more? Plus, there's a big focus on tactics, as most players are normally in the Discord with one giving commands and trying to arrange the 10 groups of 5 players to the right points.
Kann die Gruppe 8 bitte zu C gehen und C verteidigen, dass da nicht noch was durchbricht? Oder allgemein?
Like, sir, yes, sir! Also, you will probably need quite a good PC, because when there's 60 people hitting each other in a small circle with 40 more firing bullets and making it rain fire on them. Oh, talking about making it rain fire, let's talk about skilling. Haha, big good translation. And also about the battle system. Okay, I mostly play League of Legends and I also have way too many hours in Overwatch, and other than this I mostly played open world games. And yes, I have way too many hours in toxic games, I know that. That is why this combat system is so appealing to me. It's not about pressing every button on your keyboard in the right order. It's about timing your spells correctly and using them at the right moment. Let me paint a picture for you. There are 11 different types of weapons, each having 2 skill trees with 3 different spells and a unique playstyle. I play the rapier and use the left skill tree. So if you had to imagine this in beforehand mentioned games, let me tell it you like this. My Q ability is Fiora Q, but also gives me invulnerability for half a second and gets cooldown refunded for every auto attack, like the old Spear of Shojin. Who remembers that? My W is legit just Fiora W. It even has the same name. And my R ability is like the Genji dash from Overwatch, which also gets a reset after killing an enemy, but also lets you make a powerful attack after dashing. Great. And I forgot the most important part, my passive, which gives me bonus damage after each ability, which sounds toxic and, well, yes, but actually no, it's not really that, because it depends on a high mechanical skill, which I don't really have, let's be real here, and it's focused on 1-on-1, which in PvP doesn't really happen a lot, as mentioned 50v50, and also in PvE it's also not really good. No, kinda sad. Oh yeah, and PvE, I didn't do it, not interesting, just whatever, like in every mmorpg. Now to bring it all together and finish it off, skilling and crafting. But before that, some honorable mentions. Bugs. Encountered a few, most memorable, the time I got stuck in the chimney in my house and got burned alive. And then there's that one friend, and I know that he's gonna watch this, that is not completely right in his head, and who did the most retarded thing possible. getting level 100 in wood chopping, before doing nearly anything else, with the worst tools just chopping over 1,000 trees for hours. Anyway, back to the final point. The thing that really differentiates New World from other MMORPGs is that in this game, not reaching the end is the goal, but the way there. What, you might ask? Well, let me give you an example. In the beginning, I was complaining about the long walking distances between the quests. Well, on the way to the quest, you might kill a deer and skin it, which will give you XP and level up your skill. You might also find a plant to harvest or an ore to mine, which will give you experience in the corresponding skill. The same goes for weapons and crafting. By the way, crafting is one of the biggest parts of this game, which allows you to craft things you can't find in dungeons, and at least in later stages of the game, allow you to craft better weapons and armor than what you would find in dungeons or get from missions. But you know what? I'm not gonna explain all of this. If you don't know the game, I leave the fun of grinding and experiencing it for yourself. And if you know the game, you know how this is. And you know what? That's it. This game was, for me at least, a good introduction to the MMORPG genre. And I honestly haven't got much left to say, so just have a nice day.